And I'm like, dude, is he making fuck dolls?
Wax on, wax off.
Probably like, give me the mommy milkers.
There's 2 of them.
Definitely are shitty women. But it's
Heard it here. He says women are shitty.
Matt runs at me, and I just like push his head between my legs.
Mommy issues.
Mommy
calls you. Oh, Jimmy loves you so much. He just wants to save up for that ring. He's a good boy. Why you got a heart on, dude? Bro. Whoa, dude, that's humongous. Nobody wants that. Ladies, I heard the big ones hurt. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Hey, I'm Matt.
And I'm Byron.
And this is
Doors Open.
Hey, brother.
Hey, what's going on, bud?
For you guys that don't know, this is my good friend Byron, and we've known each other since 9th grade.
Yeah, since we were 14, so almost 30 years now.
And what I always like to do when I introduce that I know him for that long, I talk about how we became friends. And you've heard this story because you were there.
Yeah, I was there.
But I think I always start telling it, so I want to hear how you tell this story, and then I'll correct all the mistakes you make.
So, we were in classes together. We really didn't talk till we were in gym class.
I think that was racially motivated.
Yeah, exactly. Very much so. We walked, because the gym, they make us it's American gym education. You had to walk around
You play basketball or you walk around the gym?
Yeah, you walk around the gym. You do laps or whatever. So we did that as a group. There's a few of us, and that's how we met. And then one day, Matt gets all feisty, and he's talking he can take me in wrestling, he's a high flyer, like a luchador or something. And I'm like, I don't know, dude. So he's like, yeah. I'm like, all right. I'm like, I just like to power bomb people. And he's like, you can't power bomb me. I'm like, all right, we'll see. So we climb up on all these gym mats. They had a stack of mats. It was probably as tall as we were.
For cheerleaders, maybe, yeah.
Yeah. And we were on top of that. And Matt runs at me. And I just push his head between my legs. And I pick him up into, if you don't know in wrestling, a power bomb.
Want to do it right? No.
A power bomb is where one person's bent over and the other person, so their head's between the other person's legs, and then they pick them up by the waist and kind of invert them and slam them on their back. So that's what I did to Matt at the gym. And the first time we did it, nobody really noticed. And we walked around the track again, and Matt was like, let's do it one more time. I think I can take it.
I learned, it's like a good fighter watches the tapes. I played it back in my mind. What went wrong?
So we did it again.
Round 2.
This time, the exact same thing happened.
Yeah.
And I power bombed him. Only this time, everybody in the gym saw.
It made a louder thud.
It did make a louder thud. Everybody's like, oh. And so then that's when our gym teacher, of course, singled me out. And
well, okay, I think we missed something. All right, so you were 6 foot.
Yeah, I'm 6 foot in 9th grade.
Yeah, you're pretty tall.
Yeah, I was,
and I was 5'1". Right?
Yeah, you
were.
I
was 120 pounds.
Yeah, you were 5'1", maybe 5'3", somewhere in there.
Yeah. So that's why they singled him out. They singled me out. I'm like, well, yeah, it's Andre the Giant.
So I had to sit out for gym class. But Matt was a real mensch. And he volunteered to sit with me because he was also, a willing participant in all the shenanigans. And you sat out and we became friends after that.
Yeah, they were like, no, you don't sit down here. I'm like, yes, I am, because I did it too.
Yeah.
And they're like, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. I don't get paid enough for this shit.
I don't give a shit.
So that's how we met. Yeah. And a lot of times, guys, that's how your strongest bonds happen through a fight.
I remember when I was a kid, me and this one kid hated each other. And one day we got in a fight. He started it. We got in a fight and I just beat the shit out of him. We became friends after that.
Wait a second. Is this what you do? Is this what you do?
That's how I make friends.
Well, you just bullying people to be your friends.
I can cuss them until they don't know what's going on. And then they're my friend.
I'm like his prison bitch. He pulls out his pocket. Hold on.
Hold it.
But yeah, that's how we became friends, and we stayed friends through all these years. I remember your first party that I was invited to.
Okay, it probably was my first party,
and it was one of my first high school parties. To be honest,
yeah.
I was very unpopular. He had a good excuse because he was new to the school.
Yeah.
I've known these people. They didn't like me. He was new. But I had an older sister, right? Like the cool older sister, and she bought me a bottle of vodka, Absolute vodka. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No names, dude. No, it's kidding. And so I brought it, and like I was the only one that like brought alcohol because in my mind, everyone was gonna bring like kegs of beer, like from like Teen Wolf. Or like keg of beer. And I thought it was gonna be like that, dude. I was like, "This is my first high school party, man. I can't come empty-handed." And I ended up being like the only one that had alcohol, and that we should steal your dad's alcohol.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. We were. I was kind of. we weren't like the cool kids in Hollywood high school movies.
No.
At all.
It's like Freaks and Geese.
Yeah, more so like
Yeah.
small gathering. Like some drinking, underage drinking. The good times.
We totally would have been like the Stranger Things kids or something,
right?
Playing D&D.
Yeah.
One girl, we all like her.
Yeah. One of us is secretly gay, but doesn't want to come out.
Not a big secret anymore. Yeah. What's going on? I haven't seen you in a while. So what's going on, brother? Anything new? Anything interesting?
Interesting.
No, uninteresting. Anything?
Well, I just navigating that old job market.
Yeah,
it's rough out there, man.
it is rough out there.
It is rough. I mean, I've only been on it. Technically, it's probably my third week, I think.
Okay.
I kind of took the first week off a little bit, but then been going at it for like 2 weeks, and that's like my third week. It's just there's a lot of jobs, but like a lot of them are not real, or a lot of them are like double, triple, quadruple posted.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like the same job is on 4 or 5 different websites, and then all of a sudden it's like you post. Like I go on LinkedIn, I pay for premium, I post, or not post, but I go look for a job, and I go look at it, and it's like, 1,700 people applied for this job. And that's only on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
And it's like, what's going on Indeed and Glassdoor or wherever else this job is posted, like, plus who knows how many recruiters are looking. It's just,
it's a sea of shit.
It's a shit show, man. AI is like, especially in my field, AI is decimating it. I was using AI.
So you're part of the problem.
Well, you kind of have to, because they're forced to.
You have. I mean, it's part of the problem.
I mean, the thing is, like, my plan is to kind of like adopt it, because I'm not going to beat it. Like, I'm not going to,
not gonna beat Skynet.
I'm not going to beat Skynet.
You're not John.
I'm not John Connor. I'm not even the guy with the grenade that's like inside of what, Cyberdyne or whatever it is. Yeah, I'm not even him. I'm that kid that opens the door at the beginning of. Was it like the third one, and she like just kills right off the bat? That's who I am, man.
Dude, he's not even the main character of his own story. He's not the main character, guys.
I'm tertiary at best. Yeah. So like, it's like embrace it, use it. Cause like it's going to be there. And I think, if you learn how to engineer prompts and things like that, I think you have a good chance at a good future in our current paradigm.
I think it's going to lead into our demise.
Oh, I 100% agree.
But the other day I saw like this random clip, and it was a Asian man, and he was doing these molds of dolls, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what kind of dolls he was making, but they had a cylinder where the private parts go. And I'm like, dude, is he making fuck dolls? Is that what's going on here?
Yeah, that's what's going on.
Actually, this is something I want to touch base on. I was
Is
told.
that what's going to happen to all of us? We all become like artesian and fuck doll makers.
How do you tell your family that's what you do? Your kids.
I'm an artisan, mom.
I'm an artist. But I'm gonna try to refrain from cussing too much, or at all.
Yeah.
From here.
Okay, sorry.
We'll see.
I didn't even ask.
You don't have to.
Oh,
I just was like, someone told me that you cuss too much, and I'm like, wow, fuck you, man. All right, that's the last one.
That's the last
one. But I was watching these molds, and I was like, dude, I know what these are, man.
Yeah.
They're putting cylinders where private parts are. These guys are totally making like robots people have sex with.
Yeah.
And that's in every like science fiction book with AI. That's what happens, right?
Well,
we start making these companions, and then eventually they're like self-aware. They're like, wait a second, I don't want to be receptacle for this, and then they start rebelling against us.
Yeah.
Even the Matrix. Watch the Animatrix. That's what happens. Right?
Oh yeah. No,
it's always what happens.
It's
farm shit.
it's I mean, my thing is like AI is not going to become self-aware. That would be AGI, artificial general intelligence or whatever. But I don't know if we're going to ever create that either.
Would you ever get a companion like that? If it
If
was,
I didn't have a girlfriend and there were like, I'm talking like the movie AI level AI companions.
but like
Yes.
even like the one, even like the one from what's the movie that came out recently with Ryan Gosling?
The real doll? Oh, no. You thinking of Blade Runner?
Blade Runner, the new one, 2000.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like, would you do that?
Probably. Yeah. Why not? Why not? I'm going to embrace the future until the future embraces me.
I mean, I think I agree. I think that it's gonna head that way because a lot of guys are preferring. This is why OnlyFans is so big right now, right?
Yeah.
Because they're getting generally what they want at a fraction of the cost for a lot of them.
I think what really is the problem with all that is just like a huge loneliness epidemic.
Mhm.
Like it's funny because we look at the internet, especially we grew up when the internet sort of like it's older than us technically, but like what we as a society really know as the internet kind of came up when we were like 10.
Yes.
So we had this world where we didn't have to navigate that. We had to build like interpersonal skills. And then the internet slowly trickled in until you get to this thing where and we're all thinking like, oh, this is going to unite humanity and make us all more free. And now we're like, oh, this is the shackle that's dragging us into despair. And it's not really uniting us. It's splitting us into these small, like bubbled groups of individuals, and nobody knows how to talk to each other anymore. And like, I think a lot of that like OnlyFans stuff is because people don't really know how to talk. You have these guys who think women are essentially like property or whatever.
Is that what you think? You think that these guys, they think the property?
I think a lot of guys think that women are either property or that they're owed something.
The men are owed something.
Like, yeah, like the guys are owed something. And the thing is, it's like, they'll point out all these like different scenarios, like, oh, this is how she treated me bad and everything. And that does happen. Like, I'm not trying to like say that there aren't shitty women out there. There definitely are shitty women. But it's
heard it here. He says women are shitty.
Yeah. But you at the same time, you have, these dudes who are like, they don't hold themselves to the same standard that they're going to hold a woman. Like they're like, oh, no woman wants to look at me or talk to me. And then it's like, but it's like, okay, well, would you date this girl that's maybe not a 10? No. And it's like, the dude's like a 3 himself, but it's like, if she's not a 10, she's not worthy. And it's just like, you're not even holding yourself to the same standard that you're holding like your, other people to.
Sure.
Know? So like, I think there's a lot of that goes on, and you get in these echo chambers where people reinforce that instead of saying like, at the end of the day, like, if you meet one asshole during the day, they're the asshole. But if everybody you meet during the day is the asshole, you're the asshole.
Or an asshole convention.
Yeah, or at an asshole convention. Yeah,
because I'm always in those. I'm like, man, this is an asshole convention. Everyone's an asshole here. No, that's a really good point.
Right.
But do you really think? I don't know. I feel like on OnlyFans, it's you're getting. It started off. I remember the first time I heard about it. It was like during COVID.
I think
this girl was like pretending to be a dog. Like there's an article about it, and she's like making like $100,000 a week or some shit. And everyone's like, what? And she wasn't someone that I would consider myself like conventionally attractive.
Right.
But like she was making so much money that's acting like a dog.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I think that's true. Like obviously it serves a purpose beyond just like that loneliness. Like there's like that fetish community around it or whatever. But like, I think also the other draw is it's like, these are real people.
Oh, no, I
like,
agree.
Yeah. It's like, I mean, obviously like a real porn star is a real person. Like they're a real human being, but like, that's all like highly manufactured, like the scenes, their makeup, like even their tits sometimes, like highly manufactured. Whereas a lot of these like women's couples, whatever, that are on OnlyFans, like, like, I mean, I'm sure they put work into it as well, but like, it just feels like a more organic, like real experience than I would say like your standard pornography.
It sounds like you're on OnlyFans a lot to know so much about.
No, I mean,
I just mess with you.
I mean, I just lived there.
Hey, would you do OnlyFans?
Would I do OnlyFans? I don't think anybody wants to see me do OnlyFans.
Dude, I just said that a girl was
Yeah.
like a dog and she's making $100,000 a week.
All right, let me rephrase that. I don't want to see me do OnlyFans.
I mean, I was wondering, what if you're just doing feet stuff?
Man,
Why is that a
dude, if
thing?
I could make $100,000 a week doing feet stuff, dude, I'd do it. I mean, I'm not joking. Why not?
I
Why
agree
not?
with you. You should do it.
Yeah.
And I'll take the pictures and we can make some money together.
Let's
Some
do it,
real
dude.
money.
My dry ass feet.
Okay. I was like, watch her dry ass.
Yes, dry
I think it's just a real interesting world we live in right now. And I think eventually there's going to just be AI models who are going to do
100.
porn. And They're going to be the ones doing it. And
100%. Like,
all those porn stars will be
you know,
jobless.
if this deep seek thing is real, so, like,
It's real. What do you mean?
well, I'm saying, like, so the whole thing is they're like, oh, deep seek's able to do all this stuff on so much less power than like your standard AI.
Yeah.
And
Let's
that's
explain it to the audience who don't understand.
okay. So technically, so how AI, and this is, I'm no expert on AI, but from my understanding,
Talking, bitch. No, dude, I've been cussing a lot. Damn.
yeah. From my understanding, like, so AI, it consumes a lot of power. You have basically, you send a prompt or query or whatever you want to call it to a computer, to a giant, basically like computer mainframe full of a bunch of GPUs that do all this processing and output a prompt or output an output, I guess you could say. But, but it takes a lot of power. And so supposedly DeepSeek, this Chinese company, is able to do it on like 1/10 of the power.
Yeah. So essentially what he's talking about is in America, we have the creme de la creme of GPUs.
Yeah.
But we don't sell those chips to China. We give them the older stuff.
Right.
So they have the older technology they're working with, and they're able to do this with the older GPUs. Like right now we have, what, are we at the 5 series yet?
We're in the 5 series just came out. I mean, they're not, I don't
They
think
might be using a 3070 and
Yeah.
pump this shit out. So that's the,
well, yeah, what
the
they're
issue.
using right now is basically like they're using chips that are like half or less than half as powerful as the chips, supposedly. Right.
Supposedly. And they haven't been doing it very long, too.
No, I don't know
Like
where,
less than a year.
I don't know where, where this, if it's been verified, but also they stole like everything from OpenAI.
OpenAI steals everything from everyone
Exactly.
else.
That's what's funny about it. But like, if that's true and that trend continues, like eventually, I don't know, 20 years from now, you're probably going to have similarly powerful AIs like natively on devices. If you continue that trend of downsizing the power requirements to get a certain output.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, it's here, unfortunately. And I agree. I think you're going to see models. I think, I don't know if in our lifetime, but eventually probably a lot of like things you see are going to just be AI to some extent. Like there might be a human behind it, kind of like controlling it or
like
putting this element here versus
controlling
that.
a bunch of them.
Yeah. But
monitoring.
it's not, that model's not going to exist anymore. It's not going to be, Elle McPherson up there. It's going to be whatever.
Elle McPherson.
Yeah, it's outdated.
Whoa, bro.
It's not going to be Kathy Ireland up on the
Kathy
picture.
Ireland, I bet she still holds up, dude. Adriana Lima, I mean, I bet they hold up.
Yeah.
But I don't know about Elle McPherson.
But I'm just saying, like, it's just going to be AI model, serial code, whatever, and that'll be it.
That's funny. You said Elle McPherson, because when people ask me like attractive women, I always think Scarlett Johansson, and I know that that's dating me.
Sure.
Because she's my age.
Yeah.
And so like, I'm like, yeah, she's like the hottest girl now, right? And then but people name names that I don't recognize, and I'm like, oh, I'm old.
Yeah.
I don't recognize
I
like
keep up with that stuff.
Yeah. Like was it Sydney Sweeney?
Yeah.
And then I had to look it up, and I had to look at all the images, and I'm like, okay, you guys have a good argument. You got a good argument. Okay, all right.
I see what you're saying.
Hey, if you could say, because we had crushes on the same girls a long time,
right?
And I know we should be getting to this, but I haven't seen you in a while, so I'm talking to my buddy.
Yeah.
But what would you say your type was when you were like 19? Like your type?
19?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Like you're in college.
I mean, it's always been kind of like alternative or gothy type girls. Yeah, I mean, really, I really like women that are like, obviously I like women that are beautiful, but like I like them like uniquely beautiful. I don't know how else to describe that. It's not like they don't look like the runway model, sort of like standard beauty.
I got you.
You see, like there's like, but they're beautiful, but they're unique. Like they look unique as people.
I just
I
like
don't know
the
how else to
girls.
describe it.
Yeah, I'm with you. The girls I liked were intelligent.
Yeah,
They had ambition.
yeah. They want to be homemakers.
I don't even think about what they look like. It's more how they feel.
They're empathetic.
All right, that was a setup. Okay, let's get to it. Right.
Okay.
All right. So you suggested we should go to Raised by Narcissist.
Yeah.
So this is one that says, my mom lit a cigarette in my house after I told her how much money I spent to fix the smoke smell.
Ooh.
And let's see what this says. I just rented a house by myself for the first time. My parents are here to help me clean it up while I organize things. I told them that when I came to view it, it stank like cigarettes, and it was such a deal breaker for me. I made the landlord fix it before I signed anything. But other than that, it was perfect. Okay, initial responses. What do you think's going on?
What do I think's going on?
Yeah, we all like to do this. We like to.
I just think like this is a narcissistic person. Like if you don't know what a narcissist is,
look in the mirror.
Yeah. They only care about themselves. Like they're superficial. Like they only care about themselves. They only care about. So if her mom's a narcissist and judging by the title,
Yes.
I mean, her mom just sounds like an asshole who's just going to do whatever she wants because it's what she wants to do.
Yeah.
And-
So as we know right now, she went to this place. It smells like fucking cigarettes.
right.
That was an unnecessary cuss word, but it smells like cigarettes. It's completely unnecessary. It smells like cigarettes.
Sure.
And she's like, man, I can't live here. I got to get rid of this stink. And she does. And it was almost perfect, right? And then she goes, I don't know what the landlord did about the smell, but it didn't stink anymore when I got there. I did pay $230 to have all the carpets professionally cleaned and pull up any remaining smoke tar, parentheses, and cat hair. Don't tell me about the third hand smoke, how impossible it is to get rid of. I already know. And I'm just living with it since this place is otherwise perfect within my budget. Anyways, she lit a cigarette in my house, in my brand new house away from her. She lit a fucking cigarette. I had to cuss. I'm so mad. I'm crying on the floor of my new place. She was always going to find a way to ruin it for me. So basically what's happened is that this woman, this mom, she knew that her daughter paid to get the cigarette smell.
Sure.
And probably she grew up with a house of cigarettes.
Sure.
She probably doesn't smoke.
Yeah.
Right. She gets a new place. She pays for it to get the cigarette smelled.
Yeah. That sounds like a word to me.
I said it. It's a word. And the mom, first thing she does is light a cigarette.
Yeah.
This is a narcissist, right?
Oh, I mean, absolutely. Like anybody who doesn't know, it might sound like petty, that she's over here like crying on the floor, but I'm sure this is like one of many tortures, like little significant, little nitpicky, like little small, like death by 1,000 cut, like narcissistic tortures that her mom has done. My thing is like, why the hell would you invite your mom who like
she's
this?
gonna do this? Yeah.
Like honestly, in my opinion, like the best thing for a child with a narcissistic parent is to go no contact.
We talked about this on this podcast, but our generation kind of being the beginning of the generation doing this.
Sure.
When we're like dealing with narcissistic or just toxic relationships, we're like, I just can't be around you anymore.
Yeah.
Because before it was like, oh my mom's so shitty that, yeah, she's living with me. Whatever. You keep that toxicity around you.
Sure.
But what happens? It affects you and
absolutely.
toxic around everyone else.
You can't, it doesn't stay in a vacuum. Like it doesn't just stay at the house and when you leave it, it's gone. Like no.
Do you think you have the kind of parents that if you had children that you could like leave them with your parents for like a week?
Sure.
Because you and your wife want to go to France.
Yeah, 100.
It wouldn't be an issue.
100%.
Like anytime you brought them over, it wouldn't be an issue.
Within
reason.
Obviously, like, yeah, like they don't want to be like de facto babysitter, but like, yeah, if I was like, hey, I've got to leave town for a week and can you take the kids? I'm sure, if they weren't babies, like I'm sure they would, my parents were in their 70s. So I don't necessarily want to burden them with a toddler or a newborn, but like, if I had like a 5 or 6 year old, yeah, I would do that. I think my parents would totally be okay with that. They would totally be fine with it, and I could totally trust them. My parents aren't narcissists, luckily, but I've known people whose parents are.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, I definitely, if I had narcissistic parents, I wouldn't leave a kid with.
I think you'd cut them off, right?
I probably would.
believe
Yeah.
you would. I believe you were a person who would be like, I'm bad at cutting people off. I'll be honest.
I mean, I can be too, because I want to give people chances. Like people fuck up and mess up, right?
Mhm.
I want to give them chances. We all make mistakes. So I can be bad about it too. I let things linger before I'm just like done with it for too long.
So you don't, or you do have a good time to you have a good idea when you should cut things off. You say you don't?
No, I mean, like
I don't.
I do have a good time, but I never do it because I'm always like,
Although you know it.
I'm just too like, well, maybe they'll change, and so it's like, I can't necessarily blame her, but I'm just like, it's like, I'll have like these red flags pop up. Like I had an ex where I probably should have cut it off long before I did.
Mhm.
And, but I was just like, well, they have gone through all this stuff and, I'm making excuses for them and some of it's legit, but some of it's also like, at the same time, you got to like protect yourself. And like, even if the reason they're acting the way they are is because they grew up in like a shitty household and they haven't learned how to be like a normal person and they're slowly getting there, doesn't mean you still have to like put that burden on yourself to repair that or whatever you want to call it.
Like, I think I have sometimes like that complex where I feel like I can save everybody,
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. But I can't.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
You
learned
better
that in
save
therapy.
yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. They're like, he ain't saying nobody.
In fact, you're dragging them down.
You're the problem.
You're killing them faster.
Because you're the asshole. I was like, why are you saying this to me? I pay you for this? Okay, on to the next. And this is one that is, am I overreacting? And this was submitted an hour ago. So this is like hot news right here.
Sure.
Am I overreacting? My boyfriend dragged me into the ring store against my will, and now I'm thinking of breaking up with him. Okay, initial thoughts? Why would you want to break up with your boyfriend if he drags you to the ring store?
I mean, the only way I could think that is if he's like, either like, this is a pretty new relationship, and then it's like, well, you're kind of moving too fast. Or if he has like expressed it and she's like expressed like she's not comfortable with that yet or is not there yet. And then he keeps pushing it is where I can think, this is going, where somebody might be like, yeah, I don't want to do this. Like, you're not respecting either the speed of the relationship or my wishes.
I think those are great answers, but I'm with you on this, but I'm going to go a little off the wall on it.
All right.
And I'm going to think that he was looking at smaller rings. Like his budget.
Oh,
right?
you think
like maybe she's like, oh, we're like this, 3 times your income, and he's like,
only the finest cubic zirconium for my baby.
You know what I mean? Like, she's like, maybe he has different tastes. And he's like, no, I don't want to pay too much for a ring.
Yeah.
And then she's like, because sometimes I see these videos and they'll ask a girl, hey, how much should your ring cost? And she'll say something like, at least $500,000. I'm like, what? That's crazy. You see him? Have you ever seen these videos?
I mean, I've
It's
seen
kinda
videos where I'm like, you have to marry like
they all think they are going to marry a
a
millionaire.
multi-billionaire.
That's 6'3".
Yeah.
Has like a Pringles can in his pants. And you know what I mean? Like, they all think it's, and I think everyone always does that thing when they look it up. They're like, that's 0.00001% of population.
Oh yeah, there is a website.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, and that's considering you don't care about race.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. My boyfriend, Jesse, 27, and I, 27, have been dating about 2 months now. Okay. 2 months. That's pretty soon.
Pretty soon.
I think you might be right. A few weeks ago, he started bringing up marriage and how much he loves me and knows that I'm the one. Last week, I told him that it was too soon for marriage talk and that I'm feeling anxious and stressed out when he keeps talking about it. He agreed to stop asking about it.
Nailed it. I nailed it.
Hey, you don't know, man. She might be like, but it was a tiny ring. You don't know.
Oh, that's okay. All right.
No,
All right.
okay.
We'll finish. We'll let the story finish.
He agreed to stop after a bit and a bit of a disagreement where he was upset that I wasn't for sure yet and I didn't love him as much as he loved me. Wow, he is very insecure.
I mean, like 2 months. Like I know there's just like stories of people like, it was after our first date, we just knew it, and 2 months later we're married. Like that happens. I get that.
It kind of happened to me.
Well,
we moved really fast.
You did move fast, but I feel like for most people, like 2 months is exceptionally fast to be like, I just met you, let's get married, you know? Like,
Oh, to be fair, I'm damaged goods.
yeah,
you
yeah.
know,
Well,
I
we know
got
that.
mostly
Yeah. He's mostly
tragic.
stunted, like all sorts of things. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I got married really fast. Okay. That takes us to last week. We go to the mall to get him some shirts. When we come out of the store, there's a ring store right next to it. We're holding hands and he drags me into the store. I'm protesting. I'm just imagining he's like, yeah, come on. She's like, no, I don't want to go here. Read the room. I'm protesting and telling him to pull my arm away from him, and he won't let me. I'm getting more and more anxious as one of the sales ladies is approaching. He told me he would only let me leave if I show him what type of ring I would want. So I told him I would, and we leave. Dude, that's kind of aggressive too. That's
That is
weird.
super aggressive.
Can you imagine like witnessing this? Like you're working there and
Come on, bitch, I love you.
you're not gonna leave until you pick a ring and tell me what you like. That one, whatever.
Yeah. Princess cut. What the fuck?
What is 2005?
Yeah.
You want a natural lab is where it's at.
Yeah.
I don't want a blood diamond.
Yeah.
Or I do want a blood diamond. Okay. I was upset because he just promised that he would stop talking about it after I shared with him about how I have general anxiety disorder and that it's really making me anxious. Now he's throwing a fit and throwing my anxiety in my face, saying I need to get help and I shouldn't have said I cared about him if I wasn't ready to be married. Damn. I mean, they're 27, right? I mean, that's not young, that's not old.
But I mean, like,
You know? That's still young. It's pretty young.
it's like you can care about somebody 2 months into a
Absolutely.
relationship and not be ready to marry them.
Yeah, absolutely. This guy's
Like,
crazy.
you can even be like, I want to get married. Like, this is what I want out of
It's what I'm looking
relationships.
for, yes.
And still be like, 2 months is too quick to know if you're the person I want to marry.
Yes, I agree. 100%. You could just be like, hey, look,
Yeah.
I'm in this relationship for the long haul. I want to find my person.
Yeah.
But like 2 months in, you're like, are you them?
Yeah.
Don't waste my
Are we getting
time.
married now?
Don't waste my time, okay? You don't really love me. All right. What's already? I have read up on gaslighting and love bombing. Oh yeah, I just learned what love bombing was.
Yeah.
Yeah, gaslighting and love bombing, and I feel like that's just what he's doing.
Exactly what he's doing.
It is what he's doing, like to extreme.
And I'm telling you, like, if somebody's love bombing you like that, like getting into a more serious relationship, like there's something's going to come up. Like it's either going to be abuse or it's going to be manipulation or it's just going to be generalized emotional turmoil because like that is not good. Like just like,
Well, what do you consider love bombing?
so love bombing is like telling somebody you love them like way too early or way too often, and like an inappropriate moment in the relationship. So, you know, like love bombing. So I feel like I've been love bombed before where somebody's like, you know, like within like weeks, or maybe even like a month, it's like somebody's telling me they love me, blah, blah, blah. And those relationships always turned out to be not good. Like they were insecure people trying to, I guess, cling on to whatever they felt would make them feel secure. And I feel like that's exactly what he's doing. Like he feels insecure. He's trying to rush this girl into marriage. So he has this sort of like, I don't know, rock to cling on to fulfill whatever need that is, whether it's like his need to not feel lonely, his need to feel like he's a man, whatever that happens.
I mean, these are definitely mommy issues.
Oh,
His mom didn't love him.
he's probably like, give me the mommy milkers.
Yeah, bro. Damn. I want you as a therapist. Mommy milkers. Hey, man, I'm trying to be sensitive right now, man. It is normal to not be ready at 2 months of dating to be talking about marriage. He keeps saying it's because my anxiety and I just need to take a leap of faith and just marry him. But now I just want to break up. I feel very pressured and I don't like that he threw my anxiety disorder in my face. And that's really manipulative.
That's super manipulative. Like you have a legitimate disorder and then using that against you because you don't want to get married after
2 months. It's like, it's your anxiety. You need some help. If
Yeah,
you don't want to marry me, you need some help.
Yeah.
He knew how hard it was for me to talk about it. I told him to give me some space because I need I needed to think about a few hours later. Wait, I needed to think. And a few hours later, his mom sent me a long text message about how he was just seeing how much the ring is so he could save up for it, saying that I could call her if I needed to talk and that he is really sorry and cares about me. Am I overreacting for wanting to break up, or should I just work it out with him? Leave.
Yeah, go.
Obviously, mommy issues. I called it.
Go. Yeah.
Mommy issues.
Mommy
Mommy calls you. Oh, Jimmy loves you so much.
Yeah.
He just wants to save up for that ring. He's a good boy. Why you got a hard on, dude? Bro. Whoa, dude, that's humongous. Nobody wants that. Ladies, you know, I heard the big ones hurt. You know what I mean?
Yep.
That's why I'm always just right. All right. So, mommy issues. No, you're not overreacting.
No, I don't think she's overreacting. I feel like definitely mommy issues. I definitely feel like he's going to manipulate you more. He's going to be emotionally
I
abusive.
think the mom's gonna be an issue later on.
I think
too.
that
she's
also-
constantly gonna be there.
I also think that. I don't think she's overreacting. I think it's it's one thing that he drug you into the store, which is bad enough, right? But the fact that he then like did that manipulative move of like trying to weaponize your anxiety against you to manipulate you into go with his position, I think is the biggest red flag.
Yeah, Jesse. No, well, Jesse's boyfriend. Yeah, whatever your name is. You deserve better than
You
Jesse.
deserve better than Jesse.
Yeah.
Don't be Jesse's girl, okay?
I like it. Well, I think that's it, man.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm Matt,
I'm Byron.
and this is
Doors open.